And before our visitor gets here, I think it's important to show you and me the importance of keeping an open mind. You will be surprised how fast, how easy it is for someone to steal your and my mind. You don't think so. We never like to think in terms of being dumb enough to let someone put something over on us in a very deceitful and tricky way. But you and I are living in a very deceitful and tricky society, a very deceitful and tricky country, which has a very deceitful and tricky government. All of them in it aren't tricky and deceitful, but most of them are. And any time you have a government in which most of them are deceitful and tricky, you have to be on guard at all times. You have to know how they work this deceit and how they work these tricks. Otherwise, you find yourself in a bind. And one of the best ways to get around or to safeguard being deceived is always form the habit of looking at things for yourself, listening to things for yourself, thinking for yourself before you try and come to any judgment. Never base your judgment of someone upon what someone else has said, or upon what someone else has written, from what you read about someone that somebody else wrote. Never base your judgment on things like that, especially in this kind of country and in this kind of society, which has mastered the art of very deceitfully painting images of people whom they don't like in an image that they know you won't like. So you end up hating your friends and loving their enemies. Example, I was flying from Algiers to Geneva about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and seated beside me on the airplane were a couple of Americans, both white, one a male and the other a female. One was an interpreter who worked in Geneva for the United Nations. The other was a girl who worked in one of the embassies in Algeria, some part of Algeria. We conversed for about 40 or 45 minutes, and then the lady, she says, may I ask you a personal question? I said, yes. Of course, they always do anyway. She said, what kind of name, last name did you have that begins with S? I said, that's it, S. So she says, S? Yes, S. Well, what's your first name? I said, well, Malcolm X. Well, she waited about 10 minutes, and then she said, you're not Malcolm X. I said, yes, I'm Malcolm X. Why? What's the name? She said, well, you're not what I was looking for. And what she was looking for was what the newspaper, the press, had created. She was looking for the image that the press had created. Somebody with some horns, that's about to kill all the white people, as if you could kill all of them, or as if you shouldn't. She was looking for someone who was a rabble-rouser, who couldn't even converse with people with blue eyes, someone that was irrational and things of that sort. Well, I take time to point this out because it shows how skillfully someone can take a newspaper and create an image of someone so that before you even meet them, you'll run. You don't even want to hear what they have to say. You don't even know them. All you know is what the press has had to say. And the press is white. And when I say the press is white, I mean it is white. And it's dangerous. The FBI can feed information to the press to make your neighbor think you are something subversive. The FBI, they do it very skillfully. They maneuver the press on a national scale. And the CIA maneuvers the press on an international scale. They do all their dirt with the press. Take the newspapers and make the newspapers blow you and me up as if all of us are criminals. All of us are rapists, or all of us are drug addicts, or all of us are rioting. This is how they do it. When you explode legitimately against injustices that they heap upon you, they use the press to make it look like you're a vandal. And if you were a vandal, you have a right to be a vandal. They master this imagery, this image making. They give you the image of an extremist, and from then on, anything you do is extreme. It's an extremist. You can pull a baby out of the water and save it from drowning. You're still an extremist. Because they've projected this image of you. They can create an image of you as a subversive. You can go out and die fighting for the United States. You're still subversive. Because the press has made you a subversive. They can paint the image of you as being someone irresponsible. And you can come up with the best program that will save the black man from the oppression of the white man. And when I say oppression, that's what oppression comes from, the white man. There's some oppressive black people, but they're only doing what the white man is taught. And when I say that, I'm not still blanketly condemning all white people. All of them don't oppress. All of them are in a position. But most of them are, and most of them do. The press is so powerful in its image-making role, it can make a criminal look like he's the victim, and make the victim look like he's the criminal. This is the press, an irresponsible press, will make a criminal look like he's the victim, and the victim look like he's the criminal. And if you aren't careful, the newspaper will have you hating the people who are being oppressed and loving the people who are doing the oppression. If you aren't careful, yeah, because I've seen some of you get caught in that day. You run around hating yourself and loving the man, and you catching hell from the man. You let the man maneuver you into thinking that it's wrong to fight him when he's fighting you. He's fighting you. Fighting you in the morning, fighting you in the noon, and fighting you at night, and fighting you all in between. And you still think it's wrong to fight him back. Why? The press. The newspapers make you look wrong. As long as you take a beating, you're all right. As long as you get your head busted, you're all right. As long as you let his dog fight you, you're all right. Because that press, that image-making press, that thing is dangerous if you don't guard yourself against it. It'll make you love the criminal, I say, and hate the one who's the victim of the criminal.